Alright, so you see your opponent warming up. They look perfect. Their technique is exemplary, their footwork is on point. And because of that, you end up feeling defeated before the match even starts. And the truth is that most pretty players like this are just hitters, they're not players. Yes, they may have great strokes, great technique, but they don't have any strategy. If you don't know who I am, my name is Kush Baveja. I'm a state level player and coach, and today I'm going to show you simple tactics that you can use to break down players with good technique. It's not that hard to dismantle a perfect looking game. Players like this are usually one-trick ponies. Their strength is actually also their biggest weakness because they're dependent on rhythm. They need steady, standard balls to feed into their strong loops. But if they don't have this, you can ruin their tempo and their entire game is going to crumble. The problem with their playing style is that they often try to attack or loop everything. Low, high, wide balls. And you can use this against them. When their looping game, their open game isn't working to the extent that it usually is, most of their game is removed. All they can try to do is loop harder or loop better. They don't have any other strategy. So in saying that, I'm going to take you through a 3-step process that you can use to destroy these technique merchants. The first thing to do is to change your pace. They want your stability. Your consistent drives, blocks, loops are feeding into their play style. You have to give them varied pace to throw off their rhythm. Carefully using slow loops helps you change up the rhythm and the tempo of the rally. When they no longer have this consistent speed of back and forth, it forces them to adjust and adapt to the new rhythm. And you set this new rhythm. But before we get into the next step, I just want to mention that you should join the Tactical Edge. If you want free strategies daily that you can implement into your game, into your match play, to start winning more matches immediately, check out the top link in the description. Anyways, the second step is to work with and change the placement. Players like this usually have big, powerful, orthodox swings unless they're small. This means that they need space to hit and execute their technique properly. This is when you can aim for the crossover point. And this is commonly known as the body. This is in the hip to elbow area. They have to decide whether they're going to play a cramped backhand or a cramped forehand. To play a proper shot, they have to use quick, difficult footwork to get themselves into perfect position. The intent of this is to jam their perfect strokes. If they can't extend their arm out enough, if they're cramped, then it's going to force a weak return that you can attack. But in general, when we talk about changing up the placement, try and aim where they're not. This is the simplest trick in the book, but it always works. Just force them wide. Now the last step you can use to beat players like this is to change the spin. Here's the thing about technique merchants. Their shots are groomed for perfect, orthodox, standard spin profiles. This is where you can use things like an irregular no-spin float push to throw them off. What will likely happen is they try and loop and the ball flies way off the end of the table. You should also try and experiment playing with unusually spinny and unusually flat loops in your rallies as well. It's about making them adapt to balls that they don't usually face in their training. This is how you beat players with good technique. They're acclimatized to 3-point forehand, to Falkenberg. You need to show them and bring them to the light of serve-receive, complexity and the nuance that happens in a match, which is not what they are used to. This is how you can win the point without even trying. And obviously when we're talking about spin, you have so many opportunities to throw them off with your serve. A simple variation in their serve can throw them off. If not, you can also use disguises. You can go under and over with a hook serve. You can go flick in and then flick out with your pendulum serve. Test their serve receive. Pretty players don't often train the ugly. So to conclude, we need to stop being intimidated by pretty good looking technique. If you can start to become the smarter player in your matches by following these 3 simple steps, then you're going to have much better results in your matches. Change up the strategy, test them and see how the match goes. But that is it from me, guys. Join the Tactical Edge if you haven't already. It's completely free. You get more tactical strategic advice like this, but I'll see you in the next one.